Yeah, why is that? So maybe you have to, then in that case, whenever you want to do this, you have to log in through rita@tasveer.org.
Yes. All right.
Zoom, yeah. And you have the password and everything, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, we are live on YouTube. Password.
Hi, Rohini. You're on mute.
Oh, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. So just so you know, we're live right now on YouTube. So we were just kind of trying to see if it works. I hope you've got a lot of sets ready for today.
Yeah, I do have a bunch of jokes that I can definitely share.
Awesome.
Do you also live in Seattle area?
No, I live in Virginia.
Okay.
Hello, Rohini.
Hi, Rita. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. Enjoying the sunshine that we're getting in the middle of the week.
Yeah. Turned out to be a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry the attendance went down because we had to put so much focus on our gala, but we will
No, why are you apologizing?
We'll start working on it, and with the regular consistent doing of it, it will catch up, hopefully.
Yeah, no problem at all. I think when the people are few, you get more opportunity to be intimate. You can just like riff more freely. So we'll see.
Hi, Harsh.
Hello, how is everyone?
Good, good. This is Harsh. He's one of our community stories participants. He's telling a story, working on it right now. And Rohini is a past Desi Girl comedy project participant, a stand-up comedian.
Wow, great to meet you.
Hi, Harsh.
Hi.
Are you joining from North Carolina?
That is correct.
Nice. Nice.
You are in Seattle too?
I'm also in Seattle. What is it like where you're from?
North Carolina?
Yeah, or the particular city that you live in.
I live in Chapel Hills. It's a university town. So I'm at UNC Chapel Hills. It's pretty small. Nothing like Seattle, I guess, but a lot of greenery, a lot of small creeks. So it's pretty, but it's also very empty. Because I used to live in Delhi, which is crazily densely populated. So for me, I find it very empty.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's nice otherwise. I think okay with it.
Do you get a lot of hiking or walking, running done?
I wish. Our course is very intense. So, and I'm involved in a lot of research projects. So we barely get any time, but there are a lot of nice hiking spots here.
Mm.
Enjoy hiking?
Oh, are you asking me? Yeah, I really like hiking. I used to do it a lot during when the pandemic first hit because I was getting quite stir crazy at home, so I would want to go out, every weekend. And I don't know if you know this about the Pacific Northwest, but it's kind of like a brand that we have, that if you live here, you have to get like those hiking boots and like buy, the Northwestern jackets and everything, and then just like go hiking whenever you can. They're like hiking junkies out here, so trying to fit in really hard at first, but then it grew on me. So yeah.
It's funny because when you come from outside, you see US as this one monolith of country, and when you come here, you hear all this East Coast, West Coast, North, South, and you're like, okay, so it's almost everywhere then.
Yeah. I think the other day I was watching. Oh, looks like we have more people joining. Hi everyone. Ariel and Jyotsna. Hello.
You can keep chatting
Oh,
and keep inviting, welcoming people. It's a good thing.
How does this work? Is this live now?
it is, yeah.
Okay. And how do we know who's watching?
Oh, people who are on YouTube, who are signing in onto YouTube will be watching. And obviously everyone who's attending the Zoom meet, this open mic as a audience will be watching, and then later on we'll be posting snippets on social media.
Got it.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of noise from background because my partner is vacuuming the house right now?
We don't hear anything.
Okay, perfect. I don't know why he chose now. I told him, but
Might be part of your skit, open mic.
I don't know if he has something unexpected planned.
He wants to show us he's the one.
Okay, so do you guys have the cherry blossoms in Seattle? I know you have like in the university or something.
We do. It's like a huge thing whenever they come into bloom. It's like a town-wide festival, like everyone flocks to.
A festival, right?
Yeah. Then, you have to get all those Instagram shots, because if you miss it, you miss a social media clout moment. So
I know. So actually, we have one in DC as well. So I'm heading there this weekend. So after
Just
2 years of being 2.5 years of being in the US, this will be the first time I see the cherry blossoms. So thanks to COVID.
Okay,
The other day-
here's the cherry blossom webcam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Okay, we can, I think it's 6 o'clock.
Let me see if our the other participant is joining in.
Is Geeta going to join?
No, she said that she wasn't too well. But let me, anyway, I'll start and then I can keep messaging her. Okay, well, welcome everyone to the third Tasveer Open Mic. As always, we are so excited to have you here. For those who might not know, who would be watching this, Tasveer is a Seattle-based arts organization. We're a nonprofit organization who focus on social change through thought-provoking film, literature, and art. We're celebrating 20 years of Tasveer this year, so yay us. We're very excited about this. Now, Tasveer Open Mic is a new venture. I mean, it's a third, right now it's the third installment, but it is a relatively new venture, which we've just started out. And like all new ventures, it needs your love and appreciation. So please show us the love and share this amongst your friends and family and help us bring South Asian art and budding South Asian artists voice. Help us give them a voice and a platform to perform. So now that I've said my piece, I'm just gonna go over a few disclaimers from Tasveer as an organization. This event will be streaming on our live YouTube channel, and the recording in its entirety will stay on the YouTube channel. Plus, we will be sharing snippets of this on our social media. So you're warned. Second is that please, each participant gets around 7 minutes to participate, and well, it's going to be in a random order. And yeah, basically that's it. I am going to hand off the mic to the very funny and very talented Rohini Jayanti, who is our MC for tonight and will also be performing. So Rohini, take it away.
Thank you, Ishita. That when you said my name, it was music to my ears because I have been living for the last 7 years hearing my name get butchered over and over and over, including by my partner. And for the love of me, no one can understand the difference between Rohini and Rohini. I don't know what is so different, but they'll bend over backwards to say some Danish name. Perfectly right. So thank you. um, I do have a set prepared, but first I wanted to address another topic. Last Sunday there was a comedy competition, and so I was competing for $250 of prize money. Sonal was also there, the very funny and amazing Sonal Agarwal who hosted the Tasveer Gala. She came to support me. So we were sitting and like drinking, and I got eliminated. But this party next to us came over with a bucket of beer and they gave it and they said, "Oh, we're leaving and we're not going to finish this. These are unopened. You guys have it." And this elderly man, he leans down and he tells me that you're really funny, you're so good, like keep doing what you're doing. And at this point, I was so happy. I was like, wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was kind of kicking myself because I got eliminated in the first round itself. What he said like really lifted my spirits. Just when he got my hopes up, just when he earned my trust and he knew that I was starting to believe what he was saying, he just came back and he was like, also, honey, profanity doesn't work well in your accent. So just don't do it, sweetheart. It just kept coming. And I was like, wait, what is he saying? I just froze. Sonal and my partner who were sitting next to me, they started fuming and they were like, bro, just say the word, we'll punch this guy. And I had to be like, no, 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 cool down. And afterward, I kept thinking a lot about that and how it's particularly hard to go to comedy spaces in Seattle and be my authentic self because I've had a lot of experiences where me as a queer woman of color, I show up and then everyone immediately sees me as like a person who they can punch down on with no repercussions. I thought that I would take what he said and kind of reverse it, and make a bit out of it. So it reminds me of this TikTok video I saw a while back of this Pakistani TikTok star. She had made a clip about how different English words sound in Pakistani accent. And I will link to the video soon. This is what she says. Government becomes government. America is America. Light is light. And ice cream is ice cream. So it's like, you want to eat some ice cream. I thought that that is a nice way that she just owned that that's her accent and that we don't compromise on it. So with that, I think I'll just jump right into my bit that I have. So I think that, now that COVID is over, or at least it seems to be over in collective consciousness, but for the last 2 years, we were all kind of in limbo. Like we didn't know what was happening or what would happen. Will we ever get out of this? Will we not? And some people kind of really threw themselves into the whole productivity tornado, tried to reinvent themselves or like whatever they could to kind of keep their mental health together, and the others just gave in into the chaos energy and just like fully allowed themselves to panic. So I think I speak for a lot of folks when I say that the last 2 years and COVID has been really hard. I'm really thankful that I can deal with my shit by speaking to my therapist. But to be honest, I don't think it was easy for them. Can you imagine that as soon as it hit, just like everyone is predicting that, oh, supply demand is going to change, this is going to happen, suddenly like computer processors are going to become really expensive, or, fuel is going to become more expensive. I made a prediction that mental health professionals are going to become so expensive, and everyone is going to want to become a therapist just because so many people need therapists to talk to. So demand for mental health professionals just like skyrocketed because there's so much global shit to deal with. I was worried when I looked at my therapist one day, like I think it was around Feb 2020. I was like, oh my God, is this man going to be okay? So then I realized that, he has his therapist and that therapist has his own therapist and so on and so forth. I kept going down that line of thought and I was like, but what happens to that final therapist, that final guy? In video games, when they say final boss, like, what happens to that guy? Does he have to slay his demons alone? What happens to his shit? It made me think about the movie Human Centipede. If some of you have seen, like that's exactly what I thought must be going on with therapists all over the world. They just like trauma dump on each other, and then one guy just in the end has to like ingest everyone's trauma and somehow process it. So because I was thinking of all this, how I could sympathize when one day he called me and he said, "Hey, I think I want to be your friend." And I was like, "Wow, it happened. You finally snapped. I knew that this was going to happen." Um, so I felt flattered at first. I was like, wow, okay, so I think I leveled up, right? So he no longer sees me as a client. Like I won enough rounds. Like if my life was a game or if therapy was a game, I just like did better and better and better. So now he thinks like I'm his peer. That's why he's asking me to be his friend. So I was like really flattered, and I thought, okay, on one hand, if I say yes, we would have to void our contract. We have to become like friends, no longer have like, therapist client agreement. So as a friend, I can just like talk to him and dump my problems and it'll be free therapy for life. But if we don't, and I don't know if all of you are familiar, but in Seattle, there's this phenomenon called the freeze, which means that people are generally very hostile and cold, and particularly cold towards transplants or people who come from out of town. It's really hard to make friends and it's really hard to sustain friends. So I knew immediately that if we became friends, if we realize that we don't, are not on the same wavelength, or like we don't vibe, then we just have to follow Seattle freeze protocol and just ghost each other. And I'll have to find another therapist and bring him up to speed on the last 4 years of my life. It was a very tough decision, I would admit it was, but eventually I said no. Even though I said no, I often wonder about what would have happened if I had said yes. I imagine that we'll just hang out a lot, because he just gets me. He can finish my sentence. He can finish my sentences, so I stop hanging out with everyone else. We're both Sagittariuses. I know his birthday because, 4 years. You obviously get to know your therapist if you've been with them for 4 years. Our birthdays are just like a few days apart, which means that we're basically the same person. I imagine that if we do become friends, we'll take a lot of long walks discussing life and philosophy by the lake. Eventually, I invite him over and introduce him to my partner and my cats. He starts coming over a few times a week to watch TV. Um, which turns into sleepovers every other weekend. Soon he's like pretty much at my place all the time. He gets his own special place on the tour chart. We wake up early together and do our workouts. He's beginning to cook foods I like a lot. He tells me that I don't keep the house clean enough. He tells me that I stay out too long. And then the final straw was with him telling me that I spoil my cats too much and that I'm not a good cat mom. And one final day, I wake up and he's standing right next to my bed and he says, "I'm your mom now, bitch." So that's what I thought it would have gone like. And obviously this is my COVID brain thinking. So um yeah, that's my bit. I hope all of you feel warmed up and you feel comfortable and like share whatever you want. Yeah, so let's do the randomizer and pick the next person.
Maybe we can just skip the randomizer. How about
Sure.
Harsh? Why don't you start?
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind starting. Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. This piece is written in Hindi. Sorry, I don't have a translation. I tried to translate it, but it didn't work. So I just decided to stop doing it. And it's sort of a dedication to my partner when I met him, what happened. Yeah, so it starts with तुमको देखा तो ऐसा लगा कि तुम चांद के टुकड़ों से बने हो, घिसते हुए रिसते हुए चांद के टुकड़ों को निचोड़कर, टिमटिमाते तारों को तोड़कर, जैसे उस जर्जरी चाशनी से तुम्हें नहलाया गया हो। तुम जिंदगी की दहलीज पे आए तो मानो वो पवित्र हो गई, निराकार से चरित्र हो गई, तुम उर्दू में अल्फाज हो गया, तुम संगे मरमर में ताज हो गया। और हमारा मिलना हमारा मिलना एक साजिश थी, इत्तेफाक नहीं। क्यों? हमारा मिलना एक साजिश थी, इत्तेफाक नहीं, क्योंकि इत्तेफाक इतने खूबसूरत कहाँ होते हैं, इतनी खूबसूरत तो सिर्फ साजिशें होती हैं। तुमसे इश्क करना आसान नहीं था, अपने बिखरे हुए टुकड़ों को समेट बड़ी नजाकत और बड़े खौफ से तुम्हारे हाथ में दे देना और तुमसे ये उम्मीद करना कि तुम मुझे फिर पूरा कर दोगे, ये आसान नहीं था। लेकिन तुमने उन टुकड़ों को लिया और पल भर में ना सही पर धीरे धीरे यकीन के साथ उन्हें एक कर दिया, जो बिगड़ा हुआ था उसे नेक कर दिया। तुमने जब उन टुकड़ों को छुआ तो रूह की तासीर ठंडक सी पा गई, इश्क करने की पाक घड़ी सी आ गई। और जब होठों ने होठों को छुआ तो मानो आग लग गई, जब होठों ने होठों को छुआ तो मानो आग लग गई। लब पे लब पिघल रहे थे सुर्ख लाल लावा से गरम, लब पे लब पिघल रहे थे और मैं और तुम उस सर्द रात की अंगीठी से जल रहे थे। हम कुछ धुआं कुछ राख हो गए, हम कुछ धुआं कुछ राख हो गए, कुछ बेबस पर कुछ बेबाक हो गए। तुम मुझे छूते हो तो मैं समंदर की लहरों का संगीत हो जाता हूँ, तुम मुझे छूते हो तो मैं समंदर की लहरों का संगीत हो जाता हूँ, समय में चिपका ठहरा सा अतीत हो जाता हूँ। तुम मेरे लिए एक बेचैन माँ की भोली सी नसीहत हो, एक अनजाने बचपन की नटखट सी मुसीबत हो। तुम रात की 2 बजे वाली चाय और मैगी का आराम हो, मई जून की झुलसती गर्मी के बाद जुलाई की पहली बारिश का पैगाम हो। तुम बचपन की गर्मी की छुट्टियों का पहला दिन हो, तुम मेरा सुरूर भी हो, तुम मेरा गुरूर भी हो, तुम मेरी जिंदगी का अल्हड़ सा फितूर भी हो। और अंत इस बात से, एक बात पते की कहता हूँ सुन लेना बिस्मिल, इश्क करना है आसान पर निभाना बेहद मुश्किल। थैंक यू।
Wow.
Wow, amazing, Harsh.
थैंक यू।
Now, when I was back in India, I was very much in the closet and I used to have such passionate feelings and I would have crushes and I would want to tell them in a way that you did. And the fact that so many kids grow up without being able to do that is like such a travesty. And it's like, you're in the US, you're having crushes, you're having partners, just like scream from the mountaintops about your love. Get all that missed opportunities out. Very beautiful. I loved it.
Thank you so much.
I think that me and Harsh were the participants, and at this point, I would like to invite anyone in the audience to share any pieces, anything. Like it can be poetry, it can be comedy, it can just be like random musings,
Or a joke. Anyone
Yeah.
wants to tell a joke,
Yeah.
or a thought that's running through your mind. It's open mic. You can say anything that you're feeling or want to share. And yeah. So Harsh, for non-Hindi speaker, do you want to give a gist of it, what you spoke about, what your poetry was about?
Yeah, non-Hindi speakers. It was a lot of comparison with a lot of beautiful things. So this poem was written while I was traveling, and it was written in 4 different countries, in parts and parts and parts when I was traveling. So I was seeing things, remembering things, sitting on beaches. There's a lot of what I saw that time and what I remembered, and sort of compared it with him because, like Rooney was saying, I mean, particularly in queer relationships, you don't have standard models or prototypes to follow. So relationships have their own lives and journeys. And I felt I never had any opportunity to really confess my love. And I felt I was a writer and I never did anything poetic for him, and it was unfair. So that's why I decided to sort of write this and perform eventually.
If you're going to recite poetry like that, you better buy an engagement ring because
Yeah, so we now got our SSN numbers. So
next best thing. I am like super gay, but when I was hearing poem, I'm like, marry me, just marry me.
Yeah, we have a lot going on, but I think that's soon going to come. It's on the cards.
Nice. I hope you cut a cake to celebrate getting the SSN numbers.
Grad school is one thing. I mean,
I can understand.
All right. Ishita, you're muted.
I can maybe sing a song. I'm not the best. I am not the best at singing, so please excuse me. But and this is totally not prepared. But yeah, my husband thinks she's the best.
Aww, that's so
Anyway,
cute.
so this is a Hindi song, Ajeeb Dastan. So yeah, well, I mean, whatever. Let's do it. अजीब दास्तां है ये, कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी, न वो समझ सके न हम, अजीब दास्तां है ये, कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी, ना वो समझ सके न हम, ये रोशनी के साथ क्यों धुआं उठा चिराग से, ये रोशनी के साथ क्यों धुआं उठा चिराग से, कि ख्वाब देखती हूँ मैं, कि जग पड़ी हो ख्वाब से, अजीब दास्तां है ये, कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी, ना वो समझ सके न हम। मुबारक है तुम्हें कि तुम किसी के नूर हो गए, मुबारक है तुम्हें कि तुम किसी के नूर हो गए, किसी के इतने पास हो से कि सबसे दूर हो गए, अजीब दास्तां है ये, कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी, न वो समझ सके न हम। किसी का प्यार लेके तुम नया जहां बसाओगे, किसी का प्यार लेके तुम नया जहां बसाओगे, ये शाम जब भी आएगी तुम हमको याद आओगे, अजीब दास्तां है ये, कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी, न वो समझ सके न हम, अजीब दास्तां है ये। That's it.
That was really beautiful, Shita. I think you were selling yourself short.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anurag says, took me back to my breakup days. No, don't think about that. Focus on the
Alka just
present.
missed your singing. Your mommy.
Yes. It's okay. I can always sing for her another time.
Okay, since it's a open mic, yeah, go ahead, Ishita, whatever you feel like. And yeah, Rohini, what would you like to do? Close it or
I do have some jokes I want to try, but I'm not brave enough for live setting. So, yeah, maybe next time I will flesh it out a bit more. Because I'm a little intimidated that it's getting live streamed. I think we can probably end it for today unless someone else also feels like sharing something.
I have something in English, but that's sad. I mean, but it's an open mic, so that can work probably.
Yeah.
Go for it.
and then we'll close it. Yeah.
Yeah, so just to be fair to people who not understand any Hindi. So this is, it's more like an essay which is about beauty. So, I mean, growing up and even more recently, I had a lot of problems with the concept of beauty because I thought I was not considered traditionally beautiful. And hence I always hated the concept of beauty and what it represented. And I wrote like a series of essays around it. And this is one of them. It's called The Tragedy of Beauty and the Beauty of Tragedy. So it links these two very interesting things for me. Beauty and tragedy, two concepts which appear to be opposite of each other, are so strongly connected. Something can be tragically beautiful, and yet something can also be beautifully tragic. The two, beauty and tragedy, keep finding themselves in each other, perhaps like yin and yang. There is beauty in tragedy, and there is tragedy in beauty. The tragedy of beauty is that it would perish, but that is just one of the tragedies of beauty. Beauty is surrounded by all kinds of tragedies. I'd say each of them unique and equally tragic. And the beauty of tragedy is that tragedy is indeed real, but it doesn't kill you. Tragedy would break a heart in unimaginable ways, like a piece of glass broken and specks of it winnowed in the desert for them to be lost in the dust forever, buried in the sands of time, washed over by an hourglass of which sun never ceases to pour. Tragedy would break your heart, but tragedy won't make you empty. It would fill you rather with something else. You might not want what it would fill you with, but I'd say it's better than being empty. Grief, regret, envy, all real human emotions, nothing alien about them. What's interesting for me is that tragedy and beauty coexist. They complement each other viciously. And in fact, how they exist is in its own self both tragic and beautiful. I see them as the two divine sisters who chose different paths, but are destined to cross each other, smiling at each other at every cross points, kissing the cheeks, holding the hands, and then saying a brief goodbye to meet at another point. Would you want to be at that point? I would want to. Sometimes, like I said, better than being empty. I won't mind being the muse of two and let them play, making my life beautifully tragic and me tragically beautiful. But that's theoretical. I might not really like it. And of course, both beauty and tragedy are merely perspective. They can be nothing and they can be everything. And if a thing of beauty is a joy forever, I wonder what a thing of tragedy be. It won't be gloomy. Tragedy cannot be a forever gloom, a stubborn dark cloud that has denied moving an inch from your head and would pour down and occasionally send thunder to fry your head alive. Tragedy forever would rather be beautiful. But tragedy forever won't remain a tragedy at all. Cannot say the same thing about beauty, can we? Thank you.
That was really good. Thank you, Harsh.
Beautiful.
Yes, I sort of like criticize beauty and show that as the devil most of my work.
I can understand and empathize where you're coming from. I would like to thank everyone who joined today. Thank you and sharing your beautiful pieces and giving us your time. And we hope that you come back again next month and that spread the word, invite your friends. This is a safe space for South Asian folks, and we love to see more South Asian folks doing arts and artistic stuff, and we are here to support each other. So yeah, come back again.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rohini.
Thank you, Rohini.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
everyone. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.